Welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And a reason why we do this is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, how we can prevent ourselves from falling into cognitive traps. And for today's theme on our cognitive bias, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have a shirt in your closet right now that you never wear, and you know you don't ever wear it, and you know you will never wear it, yet it's still in your closet? Do you have an item in your drawer or on your shelf that you know you're never going to use, but you still keep it there? What about, do you have a stock that you just keep on holding on to, knowing that just a little bit longer, it's going to make you some more money, and therefore you keep on holding on to that? Well, if you said yes to all three of those or some of them, then that is loss aversion. And what is loss aversion? Well, loss aversion is that us as human beings would detest the sense of loss 2 times more than actually the sense of gain of equal value. So for instance, if I was to give you $100 right now, that feeling of gain is 2 times less than if I was to take $100 from you. So much so, it's almost like you're losing $200. That's how badly it feels to lose that $100. And that whole concept is what fuels the economy of Las Vegas. And that's the thing. When we put money in and we lose that money, our brains is trying to protect ourselves. Our brains is trying to go, you know what, we need to get rid of the sense of loss. Let's put more money in and get that gain back in so that we can overcome that feeling of loss. That's why Las Vegas does so well, because it knows how human beings think. It knows that we want to get rid of that loss as soon as possible so that we keep on putting more money in there and try to win back some of that loss and win back some of that gain. So then that's why loss aversion is so important, because it works in so many different levels. For instance, when it comes to emailing lists or when it comes to businesses, that's why there's certain circumstances where we're opening up our emails. We see ourselves subscribe to so many different email lists. But then when it comes to the point of, hey, do you want to unsubscribe? You sit there going, I don't know. I might lose something. It's that sense of loss, that sense of missing out, that sense of what if something comes up that I really, really want, even though you haven't bought something from that place for a long, long time. That's why companies ask you to subscribe to something, and then eventually you may or may not even go back to that company. And that's because you're so afraid to lose any connection that you go, I don't want to unsubscribe. Now, another example of this is in the mortgage insurances. If you bought a house, more likely than not, the bank will ask you, do you want mortgage insurance? And you have a choice to either buy it or decline it. Now, if you choose to decline it, more often than not, they will ask you, are you sure that you want to put your family into that scenario? Are you sure you want to lose the sense of security and lose the sense of protection for your family if you're no longer there? So they keep on telling you about what that loss would be, and you hate that feeling of loss so much that eventually you sign up and go, yeah, I'll get mortgage insurance. But if you really look at it, it may or may not be the right product for you. There's a lot of different products out there that might be actually more beneficial than mortgage insurance, but that's how they frame it. So from a business standpoint, you have to frame stuff from a sense of loss if you want people to buy in. You have to frame things that would hit the red button, hit that loss button, that sense of pain, so that they will that sense of fear, so that they will convert and come to you and ask you for more advice or come to you and buy your product and all that kind of stuff. As a consumer, as a person, you might want to sit there and go, is this actually the best scenario for me? Is this actually the best product for me? And then you go, I need to think about it a bit more. Is that sense of loss actually that much greater than that sense of gain? Now, a great experiment and study that was done to a group of people was that they get to choose whether they will flip a coin or not based on how much they will win or how much they would gain, how much they would gain or how much they would lose. Now, the thing is, if regardless of the scenario, you will always win $60 if you get heads on this flip. The difference is how much you will lose. And at every time they'll change that ratio. For instance, if you get tails, you might lose 20. And if you get tails, you might lose 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So if I ask you this question, at what point would you go, no, I'm not going to play anymore? Is it if you win 60, but you might lose 20? Would you play? What if you win 60 and you would lose 30 if you get tails? What if you win 60 and you lose 40? How about if you lose 50? What if you lose 60? And what if you lose 70? At what point would you go, nope, I'm not playing? Now, more likely than not, most people would say, I'll play at losing 20 and losing 30. Once you start creeping up to 40, 50, 60, 70, they'll go, nope, I'm not playing anymore. And that, again, is that feeling of loss is 2 times greater than the feeling of gain of that $60. So that is loss aversion. And another example of how loss aversion will actually affect the way we think is that it may or may not cause us to even lie or cheat or do something unethically because of something that we don't want to lose that we already have. For instance, if you have a great reputation already, you might have a tendency to want to lie and cheat over something you've done to cover up what you've done so that you can maintain that reputation. For instance, in 2014, General Motors actually denied any admittance to the fact that their initial switches were actually faulty, and denied it so much because they were afraid that they're going to lose reputation. And more evidence came in that said that their ignition switches were actually faulty, and that actually cost them more money in the end to overcome that reputation, overcome that faulty switch and whatnot. So because of that reputation, they were afraid to lose, that they actually came up with certain sayings or certain press releases and tried to deny it, lied or cheated, or whatever it is to maintain what they already have because they don't want to lose it. So it could lead to poor decision making. And if you make a poor decision, it actually costs you more in the long run. So that is loss aversion. And if you have enjoyed this episode on Unlocking the Mind, then please go back and watch some of my other episodes of Unlocking the Mind. And if you like this show, we also have Make More Mind Bites, the Mastermind Bites, and also the Peak Potential Success Show. Please like, subscribe, and follow and comment. I love watching the comments and being able to engage with you. And if you like this show, please support and share and comment as well. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.